subscribe because I need the ad revenue to buy a new A-Time because I lost it.
I don't know about you guys, but I was never in doubt. When I see Stokes just batting like he did today, I was just never in doubt.
I wish I
Um,
could say the same. But honestly, I think it was squeaky bum time from about the second ball.
yeah,
I had doubts.
yeah.
I
But
had
anyway,
doubts.
welcome back to the Cricket Nerds podcast. Um, we've lost our Indian viewers after we gave them a hiding. We've now lost our Pakistan viewers, all two of them. Um, so
So welcome
welcome.
English viewers.
This is it. This is yeah. But if you are new, please subscribe because it does help. And make sure you like as well because that helps too. Anyway, so we're going to talk about the final, which happened today, and England pulled off a convincing victory against Pakistan. And I think the way Pakistan have played all tournament and the way India have played all tournament kind of shows how good England are. And it also means that Ireland are the unofficial world champions of cricket because they were the only team to beat England, which is crazy.
Way.
But let's get straight into it. So, firstly, Pakistan batted, but it was more England bowled well. So, James, do you want to talk us through this?
Sammy Curran, you're on for a big IPL contract, my friend. Prepare yourself for a good 2 mil because, yeah, he bowled very well. Things started off relatively circumspect from Rizwan and Baba. And it's when those two were in, even though they were going quite slowly, they're only going like sevens and over or something for the first 3 overs, I think it was.
Mm.
Uh, they I, they're kind of they're scary because you know that they could start off at threes and over, and they'd still end up with 210 not out. Um, if or not out, they'd end up with two centuries,
Mm.
and it would be game over if they stayed in because they just had that ability to accelerate. So Sam Curran getting the breakthrough with Mohammad Rizwan chopping on was huge. That was a very, very significant part of the match. And I think just in general, Sam Curran has done so well. He's been absolutely outstanding. He's one of the two main bowlers that I imagine we'll focus on today. Um, yeah, just the ability he has to bowl economically and take wickets and just be that point of difference is outstanding. And then the fact that he can bat as well means that, yeah, he's going to be earning some absolute dollar.
Yeah.
So congratulations, Sam Curran.
Yeah, well done. I think also, as well as England bowled, Pakistan did manage to find some momentum through the middle overs. There was a period of time where Shan Masood and Shadab Khan were at the crease and threatening to actually post quite a big score for Pakistan.
The bowling from England was phenomenal. I think, as you've said, Curran was fantastic. I think Rashid as well came on and made a really immediate impact. Um, I would suggest though that Pakistan shot themselves in the foot a little bit, and I think they batted a bit poorly, especially in the last 6 overs. What was beautiful, as you just alluded to, was Shan Masood and actually Barber until he went out, but just knocking it around and pushing those ones, pushing those twos, running hard between the wickets, which is what England did and what we saw Ben Stokes do through his innings. But the fact then that they didn't do that as much in the last 4 or 5 overs, and they were just trying to hit everything for six. I think Mohammad Nawaz, Mohammad Wazeem both gave their wickets away because they were just trying to smash it, and they both hold out to Liam Livingston. Shadab Khan from the centre as well, although that was a bit of great bowling from Chris Jordan to take that pace off, so that he just chipped it up to Chris Wokes in the end there. Phenomenal though. Like surely, as soon as you ended it, 137 wasn't enough. There was a glimmer of hope there for England, but like we did against Sri Lanka, we made it look difficult. Now Josh Butler got off to a decent start, but Shaheen Shah Afridi knocked Alex Hales over in the first inning. So already we were in the first over. Sorry, so already we were a bit, nervy.
That was probably one of the best deliveries I've seen for a long time. That to be tailing in at the pads and pitch and just straighten and hit the top and middle and leg. It was awesome. Really good bowling. And I think that Shaheen Shah Afridi, at that point, I was like, he's the difference. He could be the difference between the two teams here and actually blow England away. But it wasn't to be. It was great.
No, and I think that was a huge turning point in the match when Shaheen Shah Afridi, took a good catch off the bat of Harry Brook, and he then landed very awkwardly on his knee, and you could tell he wasn't happy. He went off, he limped off, and then he came sprinting back on like he was a new man, and then he had 2 goes, like just run-ups, but then didn't end up bowling the ball, just dead balls. And then he actually tried to bowl a ball. Ended up being like a really good wide Yorker to Moeen Ali towards the back end of the innings, but he just wasn't right. And it was definitely the right decision for him not to bowl, because you know how good he is. You know how good he's going to be for another decade. So, look after him, wrap him in cotton wool and make sure he gets better. But I think Pakistani fans have a right to feel like that could have been the difference. I don't know if it would have been, but it certainly would have been a scarier proposition, because then when Iftikhar Ahmed came on and Ben Stokes was like, this is my time. And he hit like a really good 4 and then a beautiful 6 over long off that I think every single England fan, when it left his bat, thought, that's out. He's going to get caught. And cleared Babar at long off, and that was beautiful. So it was a definite blow for Shaheen Shah Afridi to go like that. But what did you think of the performance of Phil Salt and Harry Brook? Because I mean, Phil Salt hasn't really had a World Cup to speak of. Harry Brook has played every single match. Benji, what are your thoughts?
Well, I want to talk about Ben Stokes, but it's all right. I'll talk about these two. I mean, Phil Salt's just come in, and both of these players know the Pakistan team well, inside and out. They've spent a lot of time in the PSL playing with them. They know the bowlers. They know what they do. I think Brooks just struggled in Australia, whereas he was playing phenomenally in Pakistan. He seems to understand the pitches there really well. I think the different pitches in Australia with the bounce almost suited the Pakistan bowlers a lot more. And he has struggled because he's not had a good tournament for Harry Brook standards. I mean, Phil Salt, you can let him off a little bit because he wasn't in the 11. It was meant to be David Malan. So he's coming in as an injury replacement. But I think particularly Harry Brook will be, I think, personally disappointed about how his tournament went. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not the point, is it? Like, you're there as a team to play as a team. And he did have an awesome summer for England, and he did have an awesome PSL just coming through. And both of them have got years to come.
I would say that even though they don't look incredible scores, England's middle order for the majority of the tournament has literally just been Ben Stokes. He'd been the only person who's been performing. And today, what Phil Salt, Harry Brook, and to an extent Moeen Ali did as well, was stick with Ben Stokes. They didn't need to take any risks. And Harry Brook played a really good innings, I thought, given that he's not fired and not been timing the ball that well. He stayed with Stokes and he hit a really nice 4 through the leg side. And I think that innings, if Ben Stokes was just by himself and wickets were going at the other end, we know that Ben Stokes can win the game just on his own. But to have that support through the middle order, I thought showed a lot of fight from that middle order who haven't done so well. So I was really impressed by that. But yeah, it got to the end, and as you said, James, it was quite a nervy end until Shaheen Shah Afridi went off and Ben Stokes fired. And he's done it before. He's done it at Headingley in 2019. He's done it at Lords 2019. He's done it now. And I think it's all been redemption since the performance against Carlos Brathwaite, remember the name, that he's thinking, actually, I'm going to be the man in these moments who's going to win England the game. And it was right for him to take the winning runs to score those winning runs for England. So yeah, I'm very happy because we now hold both the 50 over World Cup and the 20 over World Cup, which I don't think a team has done before.
In the men's game,
yeah, in the men's game, the women's have
hold it in the women's game, but it is England didn't want to do it in the men's game. So record-breaking team these boys.
Yes.
Long may it continue.
James.
So yeah,
do we have Cricket Nerds questions?
We absolutely have Cricket Nerds questions. The first one of which is from a legend of the game, some might say, our friend PD. He has said, how would you rate the ICC T20 World Cup 2022 among all other World Cups that you have watched? I mean, I would say it's been the best, purely because at any point it looked like any team could win. And, you know, in each individual game, I mean, like we saw so many upsets around, scores around 160 have been like relatively common. And that is so good. I think 160 is my favorite score now. I didn't realize it before this World Cup, but it's so exciting. There's something in it for every single player. And like the win predictors, they just mean nothing because they flip-flop between like being 95% England to 95% India, whoever. Like it's brilliant. So yeah, I'd say it's the best. What do you guys say?
Yeah, it's the best because England won.
I don't know. I hover somewhere in between. I don't have a favourite score because I enjoy big scoring games and I enjoy tense finishes. I enjoy games where both teams hit over 200 because that's entertaining. You know, big hitting. I feel like it's more of a bowler's game when you're at that 160 to 180 mark. If a team's been bowled out for 92, again, it's a good bowling performance. I just like cricket. So, yeah.
So all of the World Cups is your favourite?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought the one, the first World Cup stands in my memory as kind of like the benchmark that like loads of things happened in that first ever World Cup. And the final as well between India and Pakistan, where it went right down to the wire. That was a stands in my memory really, maybe because it was the first one, and sometimes you just can't beat the first thing. However, this one is a close second for me. I've really enjoyed watching all the games. There have been a lot of close games, and we've also seen the rise in some of the associate nations who have almost earned their place in terms of not being associate nations. There's been so many upsets in this tournament, which we could almost not call upsets anymore because it's going to happen at this point now.
We should abandon the name associate. I think they're just nations. They're
just have a 16 team tournament. I think and have 4 groups all the way through. It will be great, and then have quarterfinals, semis, finals. I think I enjoyed it more than UAE World Cup because I didn't enjoy Australia winning.
Yeah, and it wasn't win the toss, win the game either, which is a good thing.
Which it was
definitely.
in UAE. The other World Cup that I really enjoyed, I think it was 2008.
2009. That was
2009. Stuart Broad and Paul Collingwood played in that one. Was it Paul Collingwood as the captain?
Oh no, that was 2010 when England won in the West Indies.
Yeah. That was a good World Cup. For obvious reasons.
Okay, we'll move on. The second Cricket Nerds question is from another legend of the game, because it's the same man, PD.
Yeah.
And he has said, so what do you think about the opening partnership of Babar and Rizwan? I think he's saying this out the side of his mouth. So how do you feel about their performances on the Australian pitches? I mean, they haven't been great. That's about it. I think they've struggled a bit to acclimatise to those Australian pitches. I think people have bowled very well to them as well, which that has to be said. The standard of bowling, like we've seen so many good bowling spells, especially from opening bowlers. But yeah, no, I'd say Babar and Rizwan have struggled overall this World Cup. That being said, they are still very good players, and it's and they look scary today. but I don't know if that's just because I was supporting the other team.
Yeah.
I think it shows how much of a massive part of that Pakistan side they are, and when they fail, it's so obvious, because when you look at how well they've done for Pakistan over the last few years in the white ball format, it's like, well, who else is there? Like when you think about Pakistan batsmen, not many come to mind in that period, because it's just them scoring all the runs. And I think, Asif Ali, maybe Shan Masood, but yeah, they've held together Pakistan in terms of their batting for so long. And this World Cup, it's exposed their middle order because they haven't played that well.
Yeah, I think it goes back to the old adage of batsmen win your matches, but bowlers win your tournaments, where the batsmen for Pakistan haven't, batting hasn't been their strong point this whole tournament, because it's relying so much on that top order of Babar and Rizwan.
Yeah.
And I think Pakistan have been carried through their pace attack. Like the four pacers with then the options of spin from Nawaz and Shadab, like that bowling attack has been what has carried them through that tournament. Being able to adapt to surfaces, if there's a bit in the wicket, fantastic. And I think today, the fact that they couldn't get the last 2 overs out of Shaheen was a massive difference in the game. And I do think it was. I think England would have been even closer had Shaheen bowled that over. And we haven't seen 13 go off 5 balls. But it's been an awesome World Cup. It's been great. I'm looking forward now to England throttling Australia in some ODIs. The Big Bash League starts very soon. And then in December, we've got some Test cricket. So lots to come from us.
Yeah. And I think normally we get to the end of the video and we have some form of prediction over the next game. And we don't really have that today. However, we will do a review, our big review of this World Cup, give our thoughts on who we think has performed well and who's let their sides down and things like that. So that's something for you to look forward to. But the winner of the next World Cup 2023 will be,
the Netherlands.
The Netherlands. Yay. Well done. Probably England or Australia or Sri Lanka or Pakistan.
No, I think we've got a couple of years now.
No, it's 2023.
Oh my goodness.
And then after that, 6 months after that is the next 2020 World Cup.
So, why are there so many World Cups?
Are you actually joking?
I'm not joking. It was 2019. England win by the barest of margins. And then COVID happened, which is why it feels like it was yesterday since England won by the barest of margins. And then, 2023, next World Cup.
Wait,
so is that 50 over?
50 over World Cup. But the next 2020 World Cup is only 6 months after that.
All right.
In the Caribbean and the USA, which will be awesome.
Fair enough.
So, please subscribe for more content. Please like our videos. Please continue to watch our other videos if you want. See where we got our predictions completely wrong. And make sure you listen to us also on all your podcasting sites, and also make sure to follow us on social media. We are at Cricket Nerds Pod, and that is everything. So thank you so much for watching.